Good morning, day 33, and we are headed to Hogback Shelter, I think, which is 15 miles. And we have another 1,000-foot climb today. We're supposed to get some rain, so I'm in my rain gear. And I slept really good last night, except it was hot. What else? Oh yeah, I talked to one of my daughters. She's getting my resupply box sent to Johnny's. And what else? Oh, we're going to Big Butt Mountain today. And yeah, we're just ready to have a great day. Got our 300 miles done. Now we've got our eyes on 4. So we're just going to put one step in front of the other and start making our way there. Well, we started off the morning with a big climb and we're headed to Big Butt. It's in 1 mile, but we climbed to this grassy knob. It is now raining and it's starting to pick up, so I'm gonna put the phone away. Well, that isn't Big Butt, but I'm gonna name it Butt Crack. And we got a little less than a mile to get there, and not a lot of views today yet, but I think it's gonna clear up later on today. So glad we got out of the camp before rain started. That was a blessing, for sure. This is what we're climbing through to get to Big Butt. Well, I'm glad I videotaped that section because that was Big Butt. And we thought we were going to a big boulder, but I guess we were walking right through the butt. And now we're heading down for a little bit. And this area's been really, really grassy. There have been some pretty cool balds that are nice and grassy, and everything's green. So we have a nice little drizzle going on right now. And temperature's probably in the 40s, high 40s maybe. So it's not bad. It's good hiking weather. We're still walking through the rain. It is a little over 3 miles, but it's a very light rain. And this has been a beautiful trail today. Just nice and easy so far. I know we have some big climbs coming up, so I'm gonna enjoy this as long as it lasts. But you have to agree, this is pretty awesome. It's funny, when we're on this nice, easy part of the trail, my mind is wandering 1,000 different places. This morning, it's wandering on Thanksgiving and what we're gonna do. But when I go uphill, it's just about the breathing. And I'm not really thinking about anything else except getting that other foot in front of the one that was there before. So, but that was my thoughts this morning. What are we gonna do for Thanksgiving? I think we want to all get away and spend it as a family. Invite the rest of my family and see if anybody wants to come. Oops, I dropped my plastic bag, hold on. I dropped my plastic bag, and then when I went to bend over to get that, I dropped my phone. But nothing is set, but my mind is just wandering in that direction. And I'd like to, if we're gonna do something, we probably gotta start making plans soon and start looking for places. So I think that's why it was on my mind. I'll see you down the trail. We just came up to this side trail and it said Shelton's Graves. And so we took the little side. This looks like a campsite. I don't know that I want to sleep here. What is it? That looks like a new gravestone. Millard was only 13. Wow. I love that they're keeping flowers here. David Shelton. It's like a family cemetery. Erected by H.D. Here, Fletcher Jr., Newsom, rest of the descendants. We have made it to Flint Mountain Shelter, and that is 6.4 from our start for the day. And nobody is here, but there's a picnic table, a fire pit, and then this log cabin structure that is the shelter. And so we're going to hunker down in here and get some grub. Hey there. We are hiking after lunch, and luckily the rain stopped after we got done eating. So we were able to hike out of that shelter without any rain. I'm not sure if it's going to stay that way, but we're going to enjoy it while it's not raining. And I had my dinner for lunch, which was pasta primavera, and it was okay. I like the Mountain House spaghetti better, but it was something warm, and I was very chilled. I was pretty cold and felt pretty wet. Obviously, my raincoat and rain pants in the front of my shirt. So I was pretty chilled and just was ready to get back out and start hiking. I thought my backpack was going to make me colder because it's still wet. I don't have a rain cover on it, and that might change. It's a Kakwa 55, and it's the one that's got some kind of coating on the inside, so I thought that it would do well in the rain, but I still think that quite a bit of rain gets inside. So now we got to figure out if I want to get my regular pack cover scent, or if I want to get something a little lighter, like a Dyneema pack cover or something like that. So I'm going to look at a couple different places before I make a decision. I might wait until I get to Damascus and see if there's anything there during trail days and just pick one up there. And then I was thinking about my sleeping bag, and I am really too hot at night. I'm almost sweating. So I think I'm going to stick with it for a little while longer. And then I think I'm going to switch out to a synthetic. And I just have to decide what degree I want to go to. Do I want to go to a 40-degree bag, or do I want to go to a 50-degree bag? So if you guys have any thoughts on that, and you can help me out with your opinion, I would really appreciate it, because I don't know. I don't know what's going to be best. I am a cold sleeper usually. I am getting my mattress switched out. I have an 8.5 right now, Nemo, and I'm going to my 4.3, I think, Nemo, and I love the Nemo sleeping pad. So I think that'll cool me off a little bit. And then I have a 10-degree sleeping bag. So, you know, they say you pack your fears. So 8.5 R value on your sleeping pad, and a 10-degree bag or quilt lets you know that I'm always afraid I'm going to get too cold. But that hasn't been the case one time yet. And we've been in the 30s a couple nights, and I've been sweating. So I think my daughter is sending my sleeping pad to Johnny's, but if not, I'll have her send it the next time. Not a big deal. And then I just have to decide when I'm going to switch out my 10-degree sleeping quilt for a cooler one. So you can help me on that. I would appreciate it. We are about 2 more days after today, and then we will go in for our first 0 since Fontana. And I think we've been doing some pretty good miles. So I feel like that 0 has been earned, and I'm looking forward to that. Just to let my feet rest. We might even look and see if there's a reflexology place so we can get our feet pampered a little bit. They're not killing me, but my metatarsal pads are a little tender and my arches, but they don't feel as bad as they did when I was home. So I feel really grateful for that. I think part of that is my inserts. Part of it is my new Topo shoes. And part of it is the metatarsal pads that I have in there. So I'm doing everything I can. Plus, I'm massaging them out at night and throughout the night with the heel of one foot against the arch of the other foot every time I wake up at night and try to stretch them out. So, yeah, right now we're going downhill. Most of today is going to be what they call PUDs, pointless up and downs, but I just call them humps. We're just going up and down, but we have one big climb. I think it's between like 14 and 1,500 feet, and it's between a span of 4 and 5 miles. So hopefully that means the grade isn't going to be horrible, but that is what we're looking at now. And it looks like it's lightening up a little bit. Looks a little brighter right now, so hopefully that means the rain is done. But it was a cold rain today. Like, I was chilled, and I was a little bit concerned because my pants are dirty, but I would wear them if I had to. But I'm hoping that we get to camp early enough that I can dry out my clothes and get all that stuff taken care of before it gets dark. So if we have a good breeze, that'll work. If we have a good breeze and some sunshine, that'll work even better. So I've taken up 6 minutes of your time rambling, so I'm gonna get off and see what this trail has to offer. I'll see you down the trail. Just crossed that road over there, and we're going over these steps. Whoops. And half a mile ahead, at Rector, Laurel Road, there's a hostel. It's called Laurel Hostel. I didn't see that on far out, I don't think. Look at this beautiful countryside we get to walk along. It's a water crossing, but we're gonna go down to the, oh no, I thought we were gonna go down there, but there's a little waterfall down there that's really cool. I was hoping we were gonna get to it, but it doesn't look that way, so I'll be walking across this right here, trying not to get my shoes too wet. Voila. And we are making our big climb for the day. Just came upon this waterfall, and it does look like an A, doesn't it? That's what season 1 said. So I think she's right. And it's beautiful. You step over these stones and the water continues down. So beautiful. I've been waiting to see one of these guys for a long time, and I'm glad season 1 pointed him out to me, because I would have probably walked right by him. We are in the final part of this ascent, and there's a barbed wire fence right next to the trail. I just thought that was unique, but we are almost to the top. And then I think we have to go down and up one more time, and then down to the shelter. So we've had some beautiful views on this climb. And the sun has peeked itself out. We've seen some blue skies. The sun's right there, but hidden behind some clouds. But brightened up. And there it is. There's the sun. Right in their path. Okay. We are in the gap of the two humps of the Hogback Mountain, and this is a view that we just came upon. Wow. We have just summited the second bump of Hogback Mountain Shelter. I mean, Hogback Mountain. Man. Hogback Mountain, and in between the gaps, because there's two summits here, I meant to say, all right, we've summited the first one. Now it's time to summit the second one. And I said, all right, that was the first summit instead of summit. It made me laugh. The sun is coming out, which is perfect because I'm gonna have to hang some stuff up to dry. But it has been a good day. I don't know. Hey, I'm gonna turn this around and let you see the view. Great view of the mountains. I just wish I knew which ones we've climbed and which ones we still have to climb. But we're gonna do it one way or the other, so that peak finder is not really helping me too much. Okay, we've made it to our shelter, Hogback Mountain Shelter. And tomorrow we head to Bald Mountain Shelter, so that'll be a significantly shorter day for us. And we're heading down this way towards the shelter. One of my many town chores when I go into town is to get a hook for my dirty gaiters. It came off over here, and I'll have to sew another one back on there. I'll show you what the other one looks like. This is the piece I'm missing. And so I have to find another one and then sew it on there. So hopefully there'll be some kind of a store that I can get that piece on or something similar to that. I have cornbread here from Michigan, yeah. And he is with the
Warrior Expeditions?
Right, Warrior Expeditions. And I interviewed Kula at the very beginning of this. We're 300 miles in. And so I just wanted to get Cornbread's take on what this is about. If somebody was interested in it, how could they get more information, and how's the experience been for you?
Okay, cool. So first off, our organization is called Warrior Expeditions. I actually applied for about 2-3 years. I first found it on Facebook. So you just type in Warrior Expeditions on there, it should pop up. There's also a website, warriorexpedition.org. It's a 504 nonprofit. And basically what it does is help combat veterans through, getting therapy. So outdoor programs such as hiking the Appalachian Trail. They're just starting a new one. It's called the 9/11 Trail. So it's going to go through, we're all 3 planes basically hit, and you walk the triangle essentially. Oh. Then there's the east to west or west to east, I think, bike ride. And then there's the Mississippi, so north to south. And that's basically what they do. Guy named Sean Groban. I probably said it wrong, but that's his name.
Okay.
He's the founder. He's a Marine Corps veteran, and he set it all up. I'm a Marine Corps vet. I deployed to Afghanistan back in 2009, 2010. And then I did a deployment to South America, where I basically did a booze cruise and just had a great time down there, seen a bunch of sites and trained with various countries and whatnot.
Okay.
So that's basically my rough story. Basically, since coming out here, I've, had anxiety before, and now that's starting to go away. I'm starting to feel better. Today, I had a bad day, but,
okay.
Everybody has those.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, that's basically the gist of it.
And you're going to go all the way to Maine?
I'm trying and hoping.
Yep.
As long as my body holds up.
Good. And how is it holding up right now?
It's rough. It's rough.
Yeah?
I haven't really pushed my body this hard since I was in the military. So it's just, one day at a time.
Right.
And go from there.
Good deal. Cool. Well, I appreciate it, Cornbread.
Yeah.
And thank you for your service.
Yeah, no worries.
Yes, thanks.
Good.
All right, we have another. That's Cornbread over there. We have another hiker over here from Warrior Expedition. His name is Rhino, and he and Cornbread are hiking the Appalachian Trail together. So we've already heard about what it is. How's the experience been for you?
Yeah, really fantastic. You know, a lot of it is just the outdoor therapy. They're the trail therapy or trail therapy as they call it. But you know, another big part of it is the connectedness that we get with other veterans. So, you know, I'm fortunate to have 16 or 17 fellow veterans out here that all belong to Warrior Expedition, kind of in two different groups. But you know, I was really surprised to find that maybe as many as 50% of the people I find on the trail are veterans.
Yeah, I found that too.
And I think that, you know, I think that speaks a lot to this type of environment. Really helps us out a lot. It helps us kind of clear our minds a little bit. We also have some interaction with some psychiatric professionals that deal with us kind of on a you know, on a consistent basis. You know, hands off, not
Right.
you know, not you know, any type of, you know, individual therapy or anything, but just giving us some kind of journaling prompts, if you will, as we go through this process to kind of, you know, maybe reset the way we think about things.
On the trail, while you're on the trail.
Yes, that's right.
Oh,
Yep,
that's awesome.
Yep, weekly.
And can you tell me what branch you were in?
Yeah, I spent 25 years in the U.S. Army and in the North Carolina National Guard. I was a combat engineer officer for most of that time. My wife is, interestingly enough, is a combat engineer officer as well. We met through the service. She's now a brigadier general, a general officer in the North Carolina National Guard. So I get, you know, I take all my orders from, you know, headquarters, and just glad to be out here. And, you know, also, you know, can't go without saying that, you know, the family's back home for a lot of us. You know, Cornbread happens to be, you know, a single. So, hey, girls, if you want to check him out, what is it, Cornbread what?
Cornbread on the trail.
Cornbread on the trail.
Cornbread on the trail.
He's a looker and he's single.
I have long hair too. I got the luscious locks.
I'm neither, but I will say, though, that, you know, by the support of my family is incredible. I've got 14-year-old twin daughters, 13. They keep telling me they'll be 14 next month. I was able to see them last week, which really made a lot of difference. But, you know, just they're sacrificing a lot, just like they sacrificed a lot when we went to,
Right.
You know, our deployments. I deployed in 91, 2003, 2004, and 2010.
Wow.
So I've got over 1,000 days in combat. But the kids went through a lot of that with me, and of course my wife that went through most of it. So
Right.
they see it as not a you know, sacrifice to have us out here. They really see it as a step to kind of heal the whole family.
Right. And can you tell me how you found out about Warrior Expedition?
Yeah, actually, my wife, interestingly enough, kind of found it and said, "Hey, you know, this is probably good for you."
Yeah.
So, you know, a lot of husbands are, you know, begging their wives to go do something like this, and
Right.
And my wife, I realized it's something we all needed. So,
Yeah, well, that's something special. Well, thank you very much, and thank you and your wife for your
all right,
service.
cool. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a couple more things we want to add to this.
Yeah, as I was running my mouth after that nice interview, it dawned on me that there are a lot of people that apply for this through warriorexpeditions.org. I think in our class there was 400 people that applied for it. 20 of us were selected, and a lot of that just has to do with you know, the amount of resources that they have. But if you don't get selected this year, they have other things they do as well. They canoe down the whole Mississippi. They ride their bike from, I think, the East Coast to the West Coast. All expeditions that they put together. But if you don't get in this year, and it's something that's really on your heart and really on your mind, try it again next year. Cornbread's tried it 2 or 3 times. It took him a couple times to get in. So,
Right.
if at first you don't succeed, try again.
Great advice. Thanks.
Cool.
It's almost 8 o'clock, so that means I'm in my tent and ready to go to bed. Had a 16-mile day today. The weather turned out much better than it started, and we are set up pretty nice at camp. I think I'm going to be sliding a little bit, but other than that, it's another good day. Bye. Peace out.